Welcome, welcome. We'll give everybody a chance to get in and get settled. Welcome to Tech Talk webinar. This is Janet Nolan with Next Home Integrity Realty in Mechanicsville, Virginia. I am your Next Home Technology Committee Chair for the year. And I have with me Steve Batiz, who is our Vice Chair. And we are joined today by two wonderful NextHomies who are going to help us out. Our last few Tech Talks have been spotlights of Next Home partners, and they've all been fabulous. But today we're just keeping it in the family, and we have two NextHomies joining us to share what they're actually doing in the field and how it's helping them. They're using AI for images and video. They're going to share with us their real experience and how they're using it to win market share and what they're doing with it in their market. So Debbie Grigg and Raylene Lewis are here and they are going to share with us. Let them introduce themselves. Debbie, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you're at?
Okay, well, I'm Debbie Grigg and I'm in Pasadena, Texas. So you got two next home Texans in the house this morning. Yep, go Raylene. And we are here just to hopefully share some dive in and get your feet wet. Don't be afraid to try it because you know you're hiding behind a camera if you're AI and it doesn't really matter what you look like.
Debbie, where's Pasadena, by the way? What city, what big city is it
I am
by?
on the southeast side of Houston.
Okay.
I cover everything from Houston down to the Gulf Coast.
And Steve, let everybody know where you are too. I'm sorry about that. I skipped right over you.
You know what? I had a tech issue. My Zoom rebooted, so I didn't know if you did that or not. But I'm in Seal Beach, California, which is between Huntington Beach and Long Beach, like just south of LA County, right on the water. So
So we got both
cold as
coasts.
heck right now. I don't know what's going on, but we're like 65 degrees and freezing. So
Yeah, it's
that's
chilly here
California
too.
cold.
We got both coasts in the middle covered. Raylene, tell us
Hmm.
about where you're at.
Hi, I'm Raylene Lewis. I'm with Next Home Realty Solutions BCS in Bryan College Station, Texas. So I'm kind of on the other side of Pasadena. We're right between Houston and Austin. So a little town called College Station, which is home of Texas A&M University. So you guys have people who have kids who are coming here. I'm here to help. So that's where we're located.
Very good.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks you guys. Yeah, so like I said, this was a chance for us to give some next homies the spotlight and let them talk about what they've been doing with AI and image and video. They've been doing some fun, really neat stuff out there. I know I've been watching them, and I know a lot of our ne other next homies are watching them. But let's talk about how that's working for you in your market and what it's doing for you in your market. I know you guys have some great details about that to share with us. So I'm going to start up a little slideshow here, and we're going to let Debbie go ahead and start taking over.
Okay, thank you. So I didn't really jump into this until I'd say probably in September, mostly October is when I got my feet wet in AI. And I decided just why not? I played with Sora, and Sora and I became best friends along with Chat GPT. So uh, the the amount of exposure that it has given me and the visibility has become crazy because I've got friends reaching out to me and telling me they love my videos every day. And we're talking their recent friends or their friends from over 40 years ago. So they might not tag the video itself, but it'll come through Messenger a lot. So you've got to be alert and watch all, forms of communication on Facebook, Instagram, wherever the messenger's at, they will come at you. So it
Debbie, where are
has
you
given me great
posting?
exposure.
Where are you actually posting them? You said there people are.
I've post on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn.
All right.
All of them.
That's it. If you're not visible, you don't exist. And
Right.
that is so very true.
Yes. And there's so many of us, especially here in Texas. There's a lot of agents. So, you get paid results also. And I did create one for Thanksgiving Day of my dog, Gertie. I just, off the top of my head said, let Gertie steal the turkey off the table and run out that door to the doghouse. And I posted that around 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And within an hour, I had over 2,000 views. Crazy. Crazy
We've
how
got that
they
loaded
sound.
up here too. Let me get that. There it is.
Yep. That's
What you got? Drop it. Come back here. Handcuffs running. Rudy, that's for tomorrow's dinner. My dinner now, you thief of a dog. Welcome to my house. Sweetheart, you can't eat a 14-pound.
Super cute.
it was. It plays better if you see it online. So that right there was like a moment for me. The other one that you showed, back up to the other video, Janet,
Oops, it's going the wrong
other
direction.
direction.
Yeah.
That
The
was my
first one?
very first one I ever made. I was promoting a rent house.
There's no place like Next Home. Let me help you find yours.
My very first.
That was your very first Sora video?
Yep, it was. So,
Yeah.
you
Unfortunately,
know, I
Sora's
think I
going
did all
away,
right.
which
I
is really
didn't know that
sad.
I could really make it look like me at that point because I hadn't uploaded my picture. So how it did that, I don't know to this day, but it did all right. So that was the day it started, and the rest is history.
How
I
many
have received money from Facebook. So you can go back on the messages there on the scrolls. Okay. I haven't paid for any advertising or placement at all, but I've received money for the views off of Instagram, Facebook, Meta. And, it's like my friends can't wait for my next post. And like I say, every day it's different. I never know what I'm going to post. It's whatever I see online or hear on the news. I go, that's an aha moment. And I play with it. Uh, Next slide. So, Meta, in order to get paid, they pay you on photos, they pay you for reels, and then you make the most money off of your photos. A reel might pay you 1 cent after you get 100 views. I mean, you're not going to get rich quick unless you have a large following. So in December, my check for the Gertie video, I ended up making $47.
paid for your
So
turkey?
yeah, off a turkey and a dog. Now, this is you've got to be consistent. Once you start, you can't stop. You have to get up and plan. And I do auto posting now where I don't even have to get on there and do it anymore. I can sit down one day and just plan it out. And next slide.
What do you use to auto post?
Videos.
No, what do you use? Is there a
Oh,
you just
okay, I changed since Sora has sunlighted. I ended up having to go on the hunt. So, needless to say, I do have a Pivo, and it was a very nice birthday present from a very good friend. And I've used Big View, which is one that they use on the format of Pivo. And I've created a post with it. I have created a post with HeyGen. And then I'm creating posts that automatically post through Centra. I'm trying to find my favorite. So that's what I've been searching and looking up and trying to learn Pivo. So luckily for me, when I heard that Sora was going bye-bye, I created a bunch of Sora videos and threw them into my data bank and videos later to where I could just post them while I don't have to recreate while I'm learning how to create.
That's a great idea. Yeah, create yourself a library.
I do. I have a crazy library. So my business structure, in order to make money, if you're going to do this as a creator, you do have to have an LLC, an EIN number, and you have to go into the Meta Business Manager on your business page, and they have to verify your business profile. And you fill in the account information for your bank, and twice a month you get deposits.
So there's a question from Christopher, and he said, Debbie, how did you end up on Sora? How many options out there? Curious what Sora provides versus some of the other options like Big View, Captions, CapCut, etc.
Well, in fact, when we go back to that very first video that we showed, I did use CapCut with that of me standing above the house with the wand. I did stitch that one together. The less time I can create making these videos, the less of my time, I'm going to look for that shortcut because it can get time consuming.
To throw into what that question was as well, Sora has been sunsetted or is in the process of being sunsetted, so it's
It's
really not
gone.
something that you can even use anymore, unfortunately. There are
Only if
other
you saved
options.
them and downloaded them.
Yeah, if you had them and saved them and downloaded them, you're in good shape. But if
It's
not,
totally gone.
yeah, yep. What are you using? What are you choosing to use instead going forward? Have you played with the new options, Debbie?
Pivo
You use the
and the
Vivo?
Big View, which is Big View. You can create videos without Pivo, and you can use just your phone to record, but it's connected with Pivo for some strange reason. But I've used it on a couple of them, and I have uploaded on my page different ones from different companies so everybody can get an idea of what I've done.
Oh,
If you
great.
see different shirts, longer videos, it's going to either be Big View or it's going to be HeyGen. HeyGen's the longest one, and I did that one about title insurance and boundary coverage.
Perfect. Okay. We'll put some of those links in the chat for you guys so everybody knows how to spell those things and exactly what Debbie's talking about. And that'll come out with the recording too, so that you've got those. There's also a list of those in Wired to Close, which I'll throw in the chat as well. I've got a bunch of different options up there for what the new video production ones are that are similar to Sora, if you're looking for something that's more a video production. What about this, Deb? Local domination
Okay.
strategy.
Well, if you're going to be in AI world and you want to be found on the generic down low, you better start posting your city that you're posting that listing in or you're closing at. Whatever you're promoting, put your links in and your city names in every post with hashtags. If you don't have any location, there is no visibility. And I can tell you, I've worked really hard for 6 months posting with the hashtags, which, I've got them saved and they're just automatically a link. So the reason I say it's important is because I have moved up. If you go into Chat GPT and ask, who is the closest realtor around you in your city? And if you don't show up on that list, you're not doing AI. And I have checked myself every month for probably the past 4 months. And this last month, I checked, and guess what? I made it. I made it to the #1 position.
That's awesome. And it's taken you 6 months of consistency to get there?
Yes, and no paid advertising. And I beat out a team of 300 EXP agents and a team of 6 Keller Williams agents.
That's fabulous.
So, yeah, I'm pretty proud of that.
And
Yeah.
what do you attribute that to? Is it you're basically tagging the videos and on what
I'm
platform or
tagging the
just
videos, yes, to
everywhere?
the city. So
Okay.
if it's just listed in Deer Park, Texas, or just sold in Pasadena, I'm tagging. And that will give you placement in Chat GPT, but you have to make sure you use Chat and it knows you're a realtor and it knows you're available in this area that you're working in, that Houston's big, right? I mean, I don't have Cypress, Texas. I don't have Bryan College Station. I have my immediate areas that I know like the back of my hand and I can get to in 45 minutes or less.
And are you tagging like are you saying realtor and then your location? Okay,
Yep.
that's
I mean,
important.
and I've got your realtor for life. I've changed it to that because I've done this for so many years and everybody knows me.
Yeah. Becoming the mayor of your city, local domination.
There you go.
And I think you've hit most of these already. Your
Right.
consistency and the use of video and photos.
Now,
I
how
do
often are
a
you
little of both
posting, Debbie? How often are you posting?
every day,
Okay, so you
at
just
least
pick.
once a day, sometimes twice.
And are you pulling ideas from like the local news sources or what do you where you
Well, like I say, sometimes it's from the news. Like right now, our tax values are out and it's time to protest your taxes. And values have to, your taxes go up and you can protest by May 30th. And I've talked about that. And then, of course, you file for homestead exemption. That's a tax write-off. People don't know it. So, I stay current with what's going on in the media. I saw one the other day about contractors scamming people. I created a post about scammers.
Yep. If you go in ChatGPT and ask it for the most searched headlines for the day, you can find that way too and post about the things that people are most talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Christopher also wants to know what's the mix between real estate videos and non-real estate videos.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Christopher has a question, says what's the mix of real estate videos versus non-real estate videos?
Pretty much all mine are real estate videos.
Okay.
Very few are non-real estate.
So the dog stealing the turkey was just kind of an off fun
Well,
thing.
it was a doghouse. I
Yeah.
mean, I did make a video that we were shopping for new dog houses, and
Gotcha.
I led that up with videos of Gertie showing houses with me.
Yeah, that dog has to be
So,
$1 million out here, so you're
she's the
good.
assistant,
All right.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
and that was AI generated, and
Super cute.
that
Yep.
was on chat.
So
Awesome.
Alex asked, one of your recent Facebook posts 2 hours ago mentions goodbye to Sora and your new AI twin. Are you recording these videos of yourself or is an actual AI clone of yourself?
Well, when you use Pivo, you use yourself. So that you're going to see some of those of me on there. And then the big view is of yourself. Hey Jen was of me, but not my voice. And that's what I'm trying to find is my voice for Hey Jen.
Okay.
Perfect. Anything else to add, Debbie, before we turn it over to Raylene?
Uh, Stay consistent.
It gets you to
Yep.
#1, and she's proof. Love it. Thank you, Debbie. We really appreciate that. And all of this will be in the recording as well as we'll throw any links in so that when you get the copy of the recording, you'll also have all of the links. But you can search Debbie out on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and everywhere else, and you can see what she's doing.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Sorry about that. Missed your YouTube channel. All right, Raylene, let's throw it over to you.
All right. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm gonna switch up after looking at kind of what the questions are and what people are asking. If it's okay with you, I'm going to share my screen for just a second. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
On the things. So
Yeah, let me get out and you can share for sure.
okay.
There you
So
go.
there we go. Am I sharing now? Can y'all see my screen?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yes.
So I know we only got a short period of time. So when you're asking about, what we do, I do use video and AI as well. But it seems like and I'll show you guys some examples of how you can use AI for that. But what it seems to me like is most people are really asking right now is how the real estate agents are being found by AI. And so the biggest thing that I want people to know is that you're not competing on Google, you're absolutely competing inside AI. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to do it, just like Debbie talks about with photo, video, all of these are choices. But the question is, when you think of how AI is, it's no longer Google. The point is, it's that who's going to be recommended, because AI is really a recommendation engine. People go to it for judgment. So the key is, how do I go in for judgment and make sure that when you type in general on incognito, it goes to you, right? That's what everybody wants to know. And the point is that AI does not at all rank agents the way that Google does. It doesn't care what brokerage you're with, doesn't care how long you've been licensed, and certainly doesn't care what you say about yourself. So the key is, when you're going, is to make sure that your platform is aligned, because AI only recommends what it can absolutely verify or prove through third-party sources. And so just like Debbie, I have not been doing this for very long. I jumped in about when she did, September, October of 2025, to get started, because I didn't want to be somebody who became like a slave to like Zillow, for example, right? Where you have to pay for your leads and things like that. I mean, there's definitely a good place for it, but I wanted options. And so the key was, okay, what can I do? Because I don't want to have to pay per click to make that happen. And so I jumped into Perplexity, Claude, Chat GPT, and the variety to say, okay, how do we make that happen? Okay. And since we know that AI doesn't choose the best agent, right? It only chooses who it can trust. It's going to identify patterns of trust, consistency, and local authority across multiple sites. And the agents who show up consistently are the ones that Google recommends. So Okay, how do we do that? Let's do it short and sweet because I know we're talking about video as well. But the biggest key is entity consistency. Okay, so you want to make sure that your platform and who you say you are is the same across all lines of authority. You want to make sure that your local pages are clear, that your experience-based content showing that you are able to do what you say you can do, and that your message is repeated across platforms. And an easy way to think about that would be if you wanted to make sure that, like, for example, on your local MLS website, on your Bull Trail website, and on all of those across the board, you're giving the information that says that stays the same and that stays consistent, but you don't want to copy paste. You want to make sure that for each website that you put up, you're optimizing for that website to say who you are. Because if you actually copy and paste everything and have it the same everywhere, you're diluting your authority. So that is what you certainly don't want to do. And that's why video and everything is so helpful. So what you want to look at is consistency, validation, and structure. That's how AI gets to recognize you, because your information matches. AI trusts what others say about you more than what you say, and you provide clean information that's really, really easy to extract. So really quick, and I'll go back to video, but just because people had questions, the top ways to do that are to standardize your bio across your platforms, strengthen your reviews with specific details, make sure that, like Zillow, Google, your website, and all the profiles are properly aligned, and that you remove outdated or conflicting information so that your content is clear, structured, and easy to understand. Now, this is a really fun one since we're going to get in and talk into video. When everyone is super, no one is. So I want to make sure you guys understand what I mean by that. And what I mean by that is if you check all the boxes, okay? So like, for example, if you say, oh, I'm super good at relocation. Yes, I can do relocation. New construction homes. Yes, I'm really, really good at new construction homes. Trust and estates. Yep, I'm really good with dealing with those kinds of people. People who are moving up. Yes, I've got that too. Whatever you need, I'm here for you. Right? Like, you have to think of Spyro and The Incredibles, because when everyone is super, no one is. So you have to pick a couple of specialties, and you say, yes, I am good at everything else, but there are maybe three. Pick no more than three and showcase those across your platform, because that's how you're going to stand out as being what people are looking for. And when someone says, hey, I want somebody specifically for this, then you're seen as a specialist for that, and you're more likely to be selected, if that makes sense. So I am now going to stop my share and switch back to Janet on the videos that we had, or the photos that we had before, and talk for just a couple minutes that way. Is that okay? And then you guys can.
Yeah. No, you're awesome. Slow down. You're good. You're good. You've got time.
Everybody's talking, not just me, and I can talk for hours. So, I'm trying to keep it short and sweet.
No, I hear you. I hear
So
you.
when we input data, do you have are my slides back? Can you put them back?
I'm getting there. Hang on one quick sec. Getting
Okay.
right back to you.
All right. So the biggest key for when you're making video or any other kind of work with AI, your AI has to be aligned. So when people say it didn't work for me, they tried it once, they quit, it was because not that the AI doesn't work, but because it wasn't guided correctly. And the way that you have to think about this is if you don't put enough information into your prompt, then AI is forced to hallucinate. So it'll make it up. Okay. And so whenever you're putting together a prompt, you want to do three things, especially, when we're making video content or any of this. You want to make sure that you've defined the job correctly. Okay, what is it that I'm trying to do? And when you're talking to AI, talk to it like you're talking to your best personal assistant. Okay, so make sure that you're giving them what the goal is. You're telling them, here's the context that I want to use, and then I want to make it all clear. And then the second thing is, whenever
Raylene, let me jump in. Can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
So what I started doing recently is I'll tell ChatGPT what I want it to do, and then I say, write me a prompt. And
Yes.
exactly, there you go.
Done that so many times you
But
can.
it's like it nails it. It's crazy.
It does. It does. You can say, here's my goals. This is what I want to do. Can you help me do it this way? Or is it better to write a prompt? If so, please provide the prompt that would get me the type of output results that I want. Now, the other thing that people don't think about is when you get the results, people are like, oh, good, I'm done now. No, 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 because AI has to draft. Just like you draft your ace whenever you're writing an email, most people don't publish and send off that first email that they write. What they do is they write the email, they think about it, right? They maybe adjust a few words and then they send it. So in order to get really good quality content or, easier scripts that are going to work if you're doing Evo or whatever format, is you tell it the goal that you want, you have it create the prompt, and then you copy that prompt and you paste it right back and you say, so I should do it this way. And then you say, so this will accomplish my goal, and reiterate what goal you want. Then hit enter and you're going to be surprised what happens. It'll say, oh, you're like 70% there, or oh, you're 85% there. Let me get you to the other 100% because AI needs to draft just like you do. And then when you can do that, then you get the higher quality content so that you have less mistakes because you've defined the job. You've then trained the AI with the role, the goal, and the context of what it wants. And then you've refined the result to make sure that it meets what you wanted it to do, if that makes sense. And the biggest thing also I want to add, two other really quick beginner mistakes, is that number one, people typically don't understand that with each topic, like if I'm going to talk about townhouses, okay, townhouses today, or a specific townhouse or something like that, that needs to be one chat on one thread. If I'm now going to go talk about a single family house or a new construction house, or I'm talking about something that's different, you need to start a new chat on a new thread, because if you don't, then AI gets confused. It's like, wait, what were we talking about? So you have to think one topic, one thread, new task, new chat, if that makes sense. One things people are saying is, but Raylene, how do I get it to, know me? Like, how does it know Debbie and Steve? And whenever it responds in the voice. And I'm just gonna say a really fun way to do it is to start with by saying, hey chat, let's play 20 questions. I want you to know my tone and my voice and how I respond. And so play 20 questions with me. And if you play 20 questions, then at the end of that little fun game, it's going to exactly know your patterns, if that makes sense. Okay, can we go to the next
Yep.
thread, next
Can I
picture?
throw something in there real quick too?
Absolutely.
With projects, you can actually create a folder structure for all those threads and tie them together under a project. And there are really good ways to keep all of those threads so that they have a common ground by using handoff documents so that the whole folder understands all of your threads. And we can get into it more in another conversation, or you can reach out to me if you want more information.
Yes, actually, I just finished a class. So I teach AI locally here. And so I just finished a class on projects and it's uploaded to YouTube. So if
Perfect.
people had questions, the way that I say when people are like, wait, what are you talking about? What's a project? You have to think about it this way. When you're dealing with your GPT, you're dealing with your large language model, a project is kind of like an office. It's an office workspace. And when you just randomly talk to chat, like whenever you just open up a thread and regularly communicate, well, that's in the hallway, right? And sometimes it's okay to have hallway conversations, but if you want to talk to the office professional, that's how you set up the project. And in the project, you can create that teammate whose specialty is whatever that project is. So projects are specialty for video AI, or even like, see, you can see all of my images are uniform. So like with Phoebe, she looks the same from image to image, right? That's because I have an Illustrator project that actually does that. So I just want people to say to know that AI doesn't ever think for you, it thinks with you. So if you're asking AI to do the thinking, then you're doing it wrong. I mean, I have arguments with my GPT quite constantly, and I'm like, you better straighten up, or I'm going to go talk to Claude and see what he has to say, right? And I'll also put AI against AI. So if I'm trying to do something for for a project, I'll throw it out and I'll ask multiple AIs what they think, and I'll even copy and paste and say, really? Because Claude says this, or Perplexity said that, right? And if you want to look at, okay, well, how did I build the authority, right? I did all of that with my GPT and making myself the established expert for the area. And there were lots of things that I didn't know how to do, right? Because I don't have any programming background. I'm in sales. And so an easier way to do that is just to ask and say, hey, GPT, when you ask me, give me an answer like I'm 5 years old. Okay. Walk me through it, how to use Canva, how to use, hey, Jen, tell me like I'm 5, step by step, and don't give me more than that in terms of steps. So in terms of the fun things, which are done in the projects, Janet, why don't we show the first video? Oh, there's no sound, Janet, because you're muted.
Full entry after an alarm was triggered at.
Finally.
Let me start it over. Did that work when I unmuted?
Yeah, you have to unmute. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry about that.
Excuse me. Robber, I'm a realtor. The seller forgot to turn off the alarms. I'm supposed to know the code changed.
Phoebe Lewis, you are being booked for burglary and unlawful entry after an alarm was triggered at.
Finally, justice.
Right. So just like Debbie does her videos, I do super fun videos as well. You can tell that in that case, I had mixed Evo, which is basically Gemini, with a Sora, combination ending, and I put it all together in CapCut. And I don't do videos of me. I do videos of Phoebe. So I think you
We
can
love Phoebe. We love Phoebe.
Yeah.
We love you too, but we love Phoebe.
Thank you. So I like that because whenever I have somebody videoing me, I want it to they go, oh no, that really is Raylene, that's like doing this item or doing that item. And I think there can be confusion. So Phoebe handles all of the online marketing and advertising for me. And I absolutely have had people call me and ask for Phoebe to come list their house for sale. So, and I do mine in spurts. So I don't do it continuously. We just have different, ideas because I don't want it to ever be seen as a commercial. And that was kind of been my fear. So I'll do spurts of like maybe a month of Phoebe running videos, doing different things, usually house related, but usually catastrophe, fun things that happen. And then we'll move on and I'll switch gears and start talking about other things as well. Now I'll show you my other video because when you put your AI in a project and you're talking about, well, how can I use this for my business? Again, remember, I don't do myself in front of the computer, but sometimes it's like, well, what I want to do with like neighborhood tours, I'm just going to show you like the first 5-10 seconds. Go ahead.
Welcome to Castlegate 2 in College Station, where modern luxury meets real Texas living. I'm Raylene Lewis with Next Home Realty Solutions BCS, and you'll see Phoebe, the realtor pup, and Heather with me today as we walk.
Yeah, just go a little bit longer. Yeah, I'm just gonna show you
through one of South College Station's most sought after neighborhoods. Castlegate 2 is known for its lakes, walking trails, and beautifully maintained community amenities, including the Castlegate Pool and Community Center.
Okay, that's great. So the point and idea is, if you want to be fun, you can use AI to create consistent imagery that showcases, a neighborhood. Because I guarantee you, other realtors are not doing cartoons of where they live, but people who live there are like, oh my gosh, I want to see, what did you do? You know, did you show the amenity center? Did you show this? People get curious. And it also makes people want to know, oh my gosh, it's real. I want to go see it. So it's just a fun change. Now, somebody asked me, how long does it take to create a video? And really, it just depends. So each video is 8 seconds. So if I am prompting correctly and not getting frustrated, and AI is doing what I ask, I can make a good video in about 15 or 20 minutes. And then I'm very careful to brand it. So AI knows Phoebe the Realtor Pup is associated with Raylene Lewis at this point. So when I put something up, if you'll notice, I always have watermarks in the bottom right-hand corner that links the information and the videos back to me. And I do that usually by putting it in Canva, which I did not know how to do when I got started, but I learned how to do because my AI walked it through me and taught me how to use Canva, just like my AI taught me how to use CapCut, if that makes sense.
So there's a couple of other questions there. Token cost usage to generate your videos
Oh, I don't
and your
spend any
images.
money. I don't spend any money doing it. So, I use, at least for me on Evo, because I have, Gemini, because I use Google Business for my main email account. I can create my videos there. Now, you only get a certain number a day. Like, I think I can only do 3 or 4, and I'm only going to get it right on one iteration. So what I do is I take even the mistake ones, and I save them, because I can then go to CapCut, or I can then go to Canva, and I can cut them and put them together like I want, if that makes sense, if I have made a mistake. And like I said, you can see my Phoebe videos or my AI videos are all on Raylene Lewis Realtor on YouTube. And I guess the other thing I'll say is, somebody asked me about uh, you know, um, how fun it is to put it together and put it all up online. If you want to see my website, that's what I created with my GPT. It's www.aggielandexpert.com. And what you'll see is that I categorized my videos so that, like, all my neighborhoods are Phoebe, generated, but all of my commentary and blogs are like real life, me. So just trying to mix that professionalism with the fun.
That's what it's all about, having fun. What do you have a sense for, over the last, 6 months as you've been doing this, how your following has grown? And also, like Debbie mentioned, are you now showing up where you want to show up, and are you showing up in the position you want to show up?
Sure. So currently I get roughly 1 to 2 AI recommended leads per week. So at this point, when I started in September or October, and putting it all together. My first listing that was recommended by Grok. Grok said, call Raylene. And I was like, thank you, Grok. you know and so I got my first listing or sale there. So we're now in March, and Heather is tallying, where my leads are coming from and how I get them. And so since January, I've received 15 AI generated referral leads. And that just means that the AI said, contact Raylene Lewis, or at least talk to Raylene Lewis. And those leads are the easiest kind, because since AI does the judgment with the person, I don't have to sell myself. It's almost like, come take care of it. And I'm like, sure, if that makes sense. Now, in terms of like ranking or, going up higher, I hired Optimize 5, who is one of the groups with Next Home. And then prior to that, I hired Real Grader. So that Real Grader was my start. And I had Real Grader make my platform uniform across all social media because I didn't know how to do it. I know how to do it now, but at the time I didn't know and I really couldn't think about it. And so I started with that. And then I moved to Optimize 5 and have them help me with my Google profile. I started at 35 on that list in terms of, is your ranking increasing or going up? And so for simply Google, I started there. And now I'm up to between, depending on what you search, fairly consistently number 12 to number 15. But my goal isn't to get to be on the first page anyway, because I feel like that's just about impossible. My goal is just to stay so that AI recognizes me as an authority source.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, no, I love that. That's exactly what we want to use AI for is to have
Mhm.
AI recognize us as an authority and to put yourself out there so that you are getting those leads and you are thought of. And yeah, you don't have to pay for them. You just have to do the work and be consistent.
Yes, definitely. I mean, it's not something that happens overnight. And this is what else I want people to think about. Different search engines, like different AI, have crawlers, right? Crawl the web at different increments. For example, Claude doesn't do it except for every 6 months. So you're not going to get response, whereas Grok does it almost immediately, just different tech, right? And so you could be doing a lot of work and not get any results right away. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, wait, now I'm all of a sudden showing up. Well, that's because, new crawling and stuff has been happening. And I would say you just have to be consistent, not only with what you put on online, but publishing in general and making sure that it's good quality content that shows of yourself as an expert. And like I said, you can do it all sorts of ways, right? I'm doing it with a 4-pound Yorkshire Terrier. So oh, wait, you're on
And
mute.
yeah, I got it. And if you were at conference, you definitely noticed just what a huge impact that 4-pound Yorkie had, just being on the conference floor and everybody wanting to take her picture.
Because she
Um,
drives around, because she drives in her orange convertible.
it was adorable, and it is an attraction. And finding those things that are personal to you that you can be known for. I mean that's how I initially met Raylene was because I saw uh, um, a
Video.
Phoebe video that you did, and that was what attracted my attention. Um, whatever it takes, and doing it consistently, and yes, having an adorable 4-pound pup doesn't hurt, but yeah.
Right? I got lucky.
Looking through the questions to see if we've missed any. If you've got questions, go ahead and throw them out there in the chat, folks, and we will make sure we get them answered for you. Do, 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 do.
Yes, the little question was, it doesn't cost me any additional money for tokens to create video, although I'm sure you could, depending on the platform that you used. Like I said, it takes about 20 minutes for me to make a video, but an hour total, because I don't just want to make the video. I want to make sure that, like with my chat, my information is aligned for going across the different the different social media platforms. And so maybe an hour or an hour and 20 minutes total, get it uploaded and get it there. And you can on Meta, for example, you can schedule, right? Or there's other programs like I don't use it anymore, but like there was Hootsuite. I don't know if Hootsuite is still around. Just as an example of some things that you can use to pre-schedule your social media, makes it easier so you can focus on selling instead of the social aspect because there's a balance to both. You don't want to focus heavy on one and miss the other.
So we do
Nope.
have a question. What's the best tip for people who are looking to get started, and something that you wish you had known from the start? I'll let you both chime in on that one.
Go ahead, Debbie. I've been talking a lot.
For one, definitely upload into whatever social media, or not social media, but platform you're going to use for AI, such as ChatGPT or Claude, Perplexity. Put your resume in there and put the branding guidelines in there. So therefore, everything will stay consistent and it will know everything it needs to know about you. That is the two tips I wish I would have known in the very beginning that I didn't know, but I do know now. Other than that, it's just, I've written 2 books with Claude. It's totally different to use Claude versus chat. I've also used Perplexity. And then there's one more that I'm using and I'm learning to use, and that's Centra. On Centra, again, upload everything, but Centra does do a little bit more work because there are, like 10 little people working for you. And so I don't like to do book work, so I have a bookkeeping being done for me in Centra. I connected it to QuickBooks. All my
Perfect.
emails with my bills just go right on into QuickBooks for me.
Wow, who knew?
I know.
There are so many great ways to connect. Yes.
Raylene, so since September, is it just the video? What do you attribute the AI ranking to? Is it the videos? Is it a combination of things? So what exactly are you?
Sure. Yes, so it's a combination of a lot of things, not just one. So the videos I think are very helpful because you have to think about I'm trying to think of like who the main crawler is, like Gemini, for example, right? We know Gemini is a Google-based product, right? And
Mhm.
so if you are for getting information on that AI, you have to make sure that you've done a good job with your Google business profile, right? For getting it uploaded. So the first step was aligning my bio so that I didn't have inconsistent data on all the different platforms, and I optimized each platform so that, for example, I didn't just say, hey, what bio do I put, right? I said, if I'm doing LinkedIn, how do I present my bio to the best way? And then I put it that way. So that was kind of step one, right? But Google, like I said, with Gemini, it likes YouTube a lot. It likes that video side. So adding the video content there and also making sure that your description and that your tags were correct and using AI to do that enhances you on that side as well. And then the next step is, okay, how do I show myself to be a local authority, which is important. And that's how Aggieland Expert came in. So for example, there are some neighborhoods right now that if you were to ask a question, and then on Bold Trail, because I practiced with Bold Trail first while I was waiting for my website to be put together, and then I added on to it myself. I put in information that was personalized that I knew from my 25 years of experience. And so when people are asking questions about neighborhoods, now there's additional information that can be cited from there. So it's kind of like you have to think about different ways to show your authority online, and then using the combination all of them to become more visible, because that's the key, right? It's really visibility so that we exist.
Right. And what size market is, I know you're outside of Houston, but what's the population and
What's the population? I don't know. I've lived here for 25 years.
uh-oh.
It changes by like 100,000 people, you guys, because we have college kids.
Students were probably 250.
Yeah, so with
Okay.
the students, probably 250,000 people.
Without it, about 2.25.
Maybe 225 or so. It's because it's the university. Yeah, it really fluctuates. So yeah, and in my market, we have a very cyclical market. So parents for students start looking and buying things in December, January. right? And they're by February, most of the students have already selected something, and then it's families. But then most families stop looking, about once you get into July because they want to be in their house, but before the kids start school. So I have a crazy difficult market.
And then what about like how many realtors are you competing against, you think?
1650 last number I heard.
1,650.
Okay. It's
And
pretty
I
good.
and I'm not the yeah, that doesn't include Houston because we have a lot of people from Houston and Cyprus and the other areas that bring their clients here and show them and sell them houses too.
Right.
So I really wish they wouldn't because they don't know the geographic, competency issue and stuff like we have, right? So,
I don't
but
think that's ever going to change though, is it?
Nope.
no, no, it's not.
Yeah.
But I will say for everybody that the way that AI is looking and selecting people is constantly changing. So the ones that, in my opinion, it's selecting now, before, the change and before people are modifying, are people who had the largest, more in-depth websites. Because the websites had been there for a long time and had a lot of content and were seen as authority. But I think that's going to change because the type of content, trigger words, and things like that were put in when Google was important for ranking are not important anymore. As a matter of fact, they're seen as fluff and noise. And so, as the large language models develop and get more intelligent, they are actually downgrading some of those bigger, older, higher ranking real estate websites. A fun thing, if you wanted to, as an example, Steve, if you were to go to aggielandexpert.com and, sorry, if you were to go on Perplexity, right? Perplexity is kind of like a souped up on steroids Google. If you
Right.
go on Perplexity and you say, what does aggielandexpert.com compare to? Like, what type of site is it? Right? It's going to compare it more to Zillow and HAR and things as informative sites than it is to what I thought it would compare me to my competitors, like other people who also have websites, in my market. And the difference is the content.
Now is it Agilent, A-G?
Gieland.
Damn, I got
Expert.
that all messed up.
It's
A-G.
okay. Yeah, it's
I think
Aggieland.
it's in the chat. I
It
think,
is.
yeah, I think it's posted in the chat.
Yeah,
Is
it's
it?
Aggie, Aggie, land, Land, and then expert, just one, just me, dot
Oh,
com.
okay. Aggieland expert. All right, got it.
Yeah. So
Okay.
and that's honestly what I attribute to in terms of just putting everything together, which every agent can do. They can blog on their own bold trail to show their expertise.
There you go.
Awesome.
That's
You
awesome.
guys, this has been absolutely fabulous. So much information. AI is just such a huge piece. There are so many things that we can do and we can talk about. If you guys want to send an email to me with what you want to hear more about in our future tech talks, that would be great. And Steve and I can figure out where the crowd needs the input. That's what we're here for is to help. And whether it's specifics about AI or specifics about products that we have within um, our partners here at Next Home, or whatever it is you guys need to know and want to know, we're here to try to help. So we do this every other month, and let us know what you want and what you need, and we will be happy to help. Oh, and there you go. Logan, you're awesome. There's actually a form for that. Silly me, I didn't know.
Oh,
It's
cool.
in the chat. It's in the chat.
I'll add my contact.
Well, huh?
I said if anybody has questions, I'll add my contact information and phone number too. So
Yep, and all of our contact information will go out on with the transcription and the recording of the tech talk. You can find Steve and I both On the intranet as well, we're listed with the franchise committee if you have any specific questions. And of course, because Logan is awesome, there's all of our contact information in the chat. Thank you all for coming. This has been really, really fabulous. Debbie and Raylene, thank you guys for sharing and being willing
No problem.
to get out here and talk about what you do. We so appreciate you and love our Next Home family.